So people always ask me, what's the best credit card to use at the grocery store? And my answer is always the same. Well, kind of depends on what store it is. Starting with Whole Foods. Okay. Now, the best credit card sometimes isn't the most obvious. In this case, it kind of is, but you would be surprised the amount of people that hold the Amazon Prime card, the Prime Visa, getting 5% back at Amazon, but don't even realize that you could also get 5% back at Whole Foods. In fact, there's actually a Whole Foods dedicated design that you can get on your Amazon card. So if you have an Amazon Prime Visa, then you also could get 5% back at Whole Foods, and that would be probably the best option for most people who are shopping at Whole Foods very often. Another kind of slept on card that a lot of people kind of forget about is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa card. Now this is a card that actually gets 5% back on the first $10,000 you spend on grocery stores, and yes, that does include some wholesale clubs, which we can talk about a little bit later. But at its core, Whole Foods will count towards the grocery category, giving you 5% back, much like that Amazon card. So if for some reason you don't have that one, then maybe the AAA Visa might be for you too. Now, when I was filming this video, I didn't really realize it could be hard for some people to get this credit card. You could see a little bit down below that you have to just be in a state that is eligible for one of these different credit cards. And some people have noted, if you look a little bit further down, that they just entered a zip code from those following states and had no issues whatsoever. But then as I read a little bit further, some other people mentioned like, oh, it didn't work for me, all these different things. And here this guy kind of breaks down that there's two different issuers. So you could have the Bread AAA card, and then you could also have the US Bank AAA card, which comes with slightly different benefits, and they all depend on where you live. So definitely see what state you're in, see if you're eligible for this card straight up, and if you really want to try to apply for this card, try the whole zip code method, and if that doesn't work, you might just be like this guy Wayne in finance, where he's not necessarily sure what to do at this point. And of course, if you guys have insight down below, let me know how you were able to get your AAA Daily Advantage credit card. On top of that, you can also get the Capital One Savor, where it's a no annual fee card and gives you 3% cash back at grocery stores, dining, entertainment, but grocery stores is the most important one. The next best option for somebody who doesn't have an Amazon Prime Visa would probably be something like an Amex Gold card. If you have the Amex Gold card, that's going to count towards the grocery category for Whole Foods, giving you 4x back on all of that. And depending on how you're using those points, that could be worth even more than just the 4x back you're getting on these purchases. Also, if you're somebody whose wife likes to drink Vita Coco, just get the bigger bottle. It's actually cheaper than getting all the mini individual bottles, and you get more for the same price. But then again, just shop at Target or Publix. It's a lot cheaper there instead of Whole Foods. So for me, Amex Gold, because you're going to be getting 4x back on all those purchases, and I would say that's a decent return for Whole Foods. Not too bad. So now my wife said that one of these teas are actually not the one that she wants. Maybe they'll be at the next destination, the next grocery store. So let's go to that next grocery store now. Starting off with the next spot, which is Target. Oh, wait, where's the car going? Oh boy. Now, Target's the one that a lot of people think is one of the easiest ones to get discounts for and the easiest cards to get, but there are some nuances to it that we're going to talk about once we go inside. So I guess let's go inside. So Target, another thing that's obvious to some, but very not obvious to others, is some people think that to only get your benefits, your 5% off on every Target purchase, you need the Target credit card, right? Like you have to do a hard pull on your credit, get a whole new credit line, etc. But what a lot of people don't even know is you could just apply for the Target debit card, and that also gets you the 5% off, and you don't have to take an unnecessary hard hit to your credit. And there's literally no difference between the Target credit card and a debit card, other than just having a credit line and having the ability to build up debt. And we know how much Target loves to build up debt for our folks, right? So in this case, this is one of the few times I would actually suggest getting a debit card, getting the 5% off, as opposed to the credit card version. And also just know that if you're paying with your Amex Gold card, that does not count towards the 4 categories. In fact, majority, if not 90+% of all the credit cards that you have that have a grocery category do not count Target as a grocery store. So keep that in mind if you're trying to use your grocery cards at Target. It's not a grocery store as per the credit cards. Also, another thing is if you're buying a tree right now, Target actually has a pretty good deal where they're all 50% off right now. And considering and comparing it to other stores, it's actually not a bad deal for the type of tree that you do get. We just got one recently for half off. Never get a tree like this. It's very messy. The snow goes everywhere. It's a horrible buy. Now, remember I said there was a little bit of a trick you can do at Target that most people don't think of? Well, that has to do with gift cards. Good deal right here. If you're interested, as you can actually see, since you can get the 5% off of anything in the store, that also does count towards the gift cards here. So, you know, if you're trying to apply some Delta, get a $250 gift card and get 5% off on this, and then it'll book your paid Delta flights with this. Especially good if you're somebody who has Delta Platinum card, wants to use a companion certificate, gotta pay cash for that first ticket. Hell yeah, use the gift card, get 5% off at least for the gift card via the Target. Another thing that is a little more speculative, because we don't know if this has changed or not, but the Chase Freedom Flex will get rotating categories. So every single quarter we'll get new categories to get 5% back on. Sometimes it's grocery stores. At least once per year you have grocery stores. So that can help towards every other grocery store in this list. In the past, when we got those grocery categories, Target was also included. However, this year it was not included. So I don't know if going forward they're ever going to add Target again, but if they do, cool 5% with the Freedom Flex, especially if you get that special welcome offer that the Freedom Flex has sometimes, where they actually give you an additional multiplier on grocery stores, and you could stack that in conjunction with the bonus categories every single quarter, giving you like, I think 9+X% back on everything that has to do with grocery stores and sometimes Target. But again, we don't know if that's going away or not. Another little side fun fact about gift cards: if you live in Florida or just near a Disney World in general, typically these grocery stores, Target included, should actually come with gift cards towards park tickets to Disney World. So if you have any 5% off cards or 5% back cards, you can technically get these Disney World or Disneyland tickets off for when you go there. So just some food for thought as well. So next happens to be, you can already tell by the logo right there, Costco. And look at the freaking line that we have right here. I mean, that is crazy. I do not have a membership to Costco. You will not catch me trying to walk into this place, but I am definitely going to film everybody as I drive by. And I understand Costco's huge. Everybody has a Costco membership, and everybody's going to these Costco clubs every single day to get their groceries. And I feel for those people, and that's why I'm driving by waving, and I want to actually say that there are a couple of little tricks to Costco to getting some money back from your credit cards. Now, the main thing here in the United States is Costco does not accept MasterCard, unfortunately. So you can only use Visa cards. And with that, it limits a lot of our different options that we can actually use. What is this, the March of Dimes? And so some of the best ways I think a lot of people save money at Costco with their credit cards, I think one is kind of like the one I mentioned earlier, which is a little bit slept on, which is the AAA Daily Advantage card, which actually does allow Costco to code as the wholesale club, giving you 3% back on everything with that same $10,000 cap. So, and since that's a Visa, that can be accepted at Costco, and that's actually a really good choice to get a lot of money back for all of your Costco purchases, which is already 1% higher than the actual Costco branded Anywhere Visa card that this company actually issues. That's only 2% back at Costco and Costco.com. This card's already giving you 3% back up to 10,000 cap every year. On top of that, also one that gets overlooked is actually the Venmo Visa that also is allowed to be used at Costco, and it actually does code Costco as a wholesale club and codes towards its 3% grocery category. So again, the Venmo Visa card also could be a good shot to get 3% back at Costco, which again is 1% higher than the Costco Anywhere Visa. You know, maybe buy all your giant jars of peanut butter and your 150 eggs in one carton in bulk. Personally, I don't shop at Costco. It's very busy, as you can see right here. We had a whole conga line walking in there. I don't want to pay for the membership, and I don't think the prices are actually comparable to where I'm shopping nowadays, which we'll talk about exactly where most of my grocery spend is going very, very soon. Sorry if you love Costco, but I want to leave. I want to leave from here. I want to get out of here. And I guess technically it's not groceries, but if you do have the Costco Anywhere Visa, I think you get 4x back on gas and EV charging, which would actually help in my case, but we could charge at home anyway, it's cheaper. Oh, actually, let me show you guys a little trick that Calby actually taught me recently when we were in Knoxville, Tennessee together. We drove, and he actually showed me that you could actually get some free air, even though maybe if you're not a member, you know, it's a little shady under the radar stuff, but technically if you are a Costco member, you can go and get free air right here. You can actually fill your tires to whatever PSI that you want. For my tires, they're about 45, 46 for normal, and these actually do include nitrogen, you can see right there, which means it'll just do a lot better in the cold, which if you're anything like where I am in South Carolina at the moment, it's like 40, 50 degrees right now. I'm freezing, but the tires will hold up, and you can get this free nitrogen air from Costco, but you just have to be a Costco member only. But Just don't tell anybody. All right, goodbye Costco, conga line, goodbye all the different people. Next we have, there we go, Publix. Next we're at Publix, baby. This is the place where I go to shop for a majority of my things that are not at the butcher shop. And I think they have some of the best deals on the market and some really unique ways to save on cards that most people are unaware of. So let's go inside. So in Publix, basically all the other cards we mentioned earlier kind of apply. So the AAA Advantage card, Venmo for groceries, the Amex Gold card getting 4X, all of that actually does count towards Publix. So really no issue there with using a lot of different cards. However, there is another card you can use that a lot of people would never consider that you can use at Publix to get your 3X back. And that is actually the Chase Sapphire Preferred. That's right. Remember that online grocery category everybody hates on? Well, something Chad Money Minutes found many years ago was that if you just added your Chase Sapphire Preferred to your online account, scan your online Publix account, and it pays with your Chase Sapphire Preferred, it will actually code as 3X online categories, even though you're checking out in store, thus giving you your 3X back on all of Publix purchases, which I think is a really, really amazing trick. And probably a lot more people who live in the South who have Publix should probably take advantage of. Also, the same kind of works for Kroger. For those of you who have Krogers, you could add your CSP to your Kroger Pay accounts. Do the same thing when you check out, and you'll get 3X back on your Chase Sapphire Preferred, so not bad. And also, I guess while I'm on that topic, as I'm editing this video, I also realized, like, yeah, you could technically just have like the US Bank Altitude Reserve or any Kroger MasterCard, and that's going to give you 3 to 5% back on mobile wallet purchases. And it just so happens that most of these grocery stores, a lot of them, allow you mobile wallet purchases. So even like places like Costco and what have you, you can tap to pay with your mobile wallet and get that 3% back on those specific respective credit cards. Another reason I really like Publix is because they actually frequently have pretty good deals, like a buy one, get one free deal. I've gotten huge boxes of turkey burgers for buy one, get one free. In fact, one time I actually bought like 10 different boxes of turkey burgers. Turkey burgers, just because everything was half off. Each burger ended up being like $1 each, and they have that very, very often. A lot of breads, barbecue sauces, which shout out to this one right here. This one is actually the best barbecue sauce in the entire world. I don't care what anybody says, that's the best. A little expensive, but when you can get it on a buy one, get one free, powerful. Actually, Publix is a store that does sell a lot of other things, much like Target. You'd be surprised to find they have grills. They actually have some travel gear and some outdoor gear, some frying pans, so charcoal. So a lot of different things that have to do with the barbecue. So not too bad, especially if you're using the right credit card. You give you this free right here. We mentioned Vital Coconut earlier. Well, now there's a buy one get one free here, as opposed to paying literally double the price at Whole Foods. Actually, factoring the buy one get one free, it actually ends up being like 4x the price or something like that. So Publix has all the good deals, man. So come on, buy one get one free. Come on. When they have deals like this, you gotta take advantage, baby. You gotta take advantage of the buy one get one free. So all in all, Publix is a very easy, very cheap alternative to many other grocery stores. Very good products, I think. Most of the time, you're able to get the buy one get one free deals, which I think is pretty powerful personally for me, and it's why it's the main grocery store of my choosing at this time. So that was Publix down. We got everything we needed there, and now we can move on to our last grocery store, which actually happens to not be a grocery store at all, oddly enough. It's one of the places I love to go to. It's where I replace most of my grocery spend, and that is the So I was saying earlier how I don't really go to grocery stores that often anymore. In fact, majority of our spend and majority of the stuff that we eat nowadays is all in the butcher shop. It is my local butcher that I go to, and the food here is absolutely amazing. The only issue is, since it is a butcher shop, this one specifically does not code towards any particular category. You can't really get 3%, 4% categories on butcher shops anywhere. So what I do is I just use my Chase Inc. Unlimited card. Gives you 1.5x on everything, and that's what I use it for because I don't have any other dedicated 2x back on everything cards. So definitely think that the best option is just a catch-all card for butcher shops. But I think above all else, aside from saving money on the cards, you actually should be saving yourself in health. And that's why I think you can see sirloins here, which you get 2 full big steaks just for, $10, $11. I also get these burgers right here, 4 of them for $16. And I used to go from eating, 4 different turkey burgers and a million different other things to just eating 1 burger a day with some rice on the side. And the difference that I feel in my health and on my mind is absolutely insane. So I definitely recommend going to butcher shops and trying to come away from grocery stores. I still go to grocery stores, but majority is at the butcher shop. shops nowadays, I would say. Although I have heard some people's butcher shops being coded as something like groceries and whatnot. So if you have a butcher shop that does code, use that. One other note as well on the butcher shops that I forgot to mention in there is it's almost like a hometown community feel to it. Like it's so local that, you know, the butchers know your name, they know your wife, they ask about your family, they say how you doing. Everybody knows each other because it's like a tight-knit more community. You go to the grocery store, you know, basically you walk into your local Publix or your local Stop and Shop, they spit in your face. And you know, you like it for that reason, but it's also not the same as you know, the community feel you have, the familial feel almost, to a regular butcher shop. That's one of the main things to this video is, yes, we want to use the right credit cards for each grocery store, right? We want to maximize our spend. 5% off Target, you know, 3%, 5% off Publix, all these different stores you can get some great percentages back, Whole Foods. But the main thing at the end of the day is whenever they mention, like, what is a happy life, it's health and then wealth. And I think there is a reason for that. I think putting your health first, in fact, will actually create more wealth over time, and you're just a wealthier person, meaning you can make more money and you're healthier to enjoy all that money that you've either earned or you saved. And when you put health first, I think everything else kind of falls into place. And that's why I kind of urge, like, yes, these grocery stores are great, and we do get, you know, our rice from grocery stores. We get maybe some tortillas for Spanish night. You know, we'll get some orange juice. We'll get some vegetables. She likes to get avocados and whatnot. But for the majority, like the burgers, the steak, the chopped meat, the ground chuck that we're eating every single day, some of the organ meats that we have as well, all of that comes from the butcher shop, and that's where the majority of our spend goes to. And ever since I switched from grocery store majority meat and calories to butcher shop, mental clarity was up. I started also leaning out a little bit more, gaining a little bit more muscle. I obviously, I'm not sponsored by Butchers Anonymous, but I think it's one of the most incredible things you can do with your health, with your body. Eating these way less processed foods, you just become a more vital, more vibrant human being. I feel, at least for me personally, that's how it's affected me, and that's why I want to share it to everybody who's watching. So use the right credit cards, but also go to the right places, I think. In my opinion, I think butcher shops are the right places. Do your own research, of course, at home, but that's just my 2 cents on that. If you want to check out any of the cards that I mentioned today, I'll leave it at the pinned comment with some links to credit cards that we talked about in this video today. So thank you guys for being here, and as always, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much.